Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. This is going to include my review, short and sweet-ish, of the new Superman movie. So if you don't want spoilers, stop listening, turn the sound off. Okay. And it actually has a recovery aspect to it. By the way, I want to be very clear. This is not coming from a trained counselor. This is not coming from a therapist. This is not coming from anybody other than a guy who's had decades of experience drinking very heavily and a few years going through sobriety programs and attempts. And I think this one's going to stick. The program I'm in right now, which is called Pathways, by the way. If you know anybody who really needs like top-end help, then it's going to be Pathways. Yes, that is in fact a pool behind me. A little bougie, but you know, what's more important is that they got good people who really do help a lot. Yes, the lovely sunset behind me. I had a beautiful day. Hung out with a couple of my friends here in the house. We went and had lunch, then we saw Superman, and then we had dinner at a Route 66 landmark place called Stacks. I think it had another name at one time, but they call it Stacks now. Good pancakes, everything was all right, but the pancakes are amazing. Anyway, so, first, Superman. Loved it. Loved it. Loved this guy, playing him. I want to go back and see other things that he's done. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but I'm sure it will become, widespread and well known. The love letter James Gunn wrote to the Christopher Reeve Superman is amazing, especially the end titles, which are done exactly like the end titles of the original Superman movie. And the undercurrent theme was the Christopher Reeve Superman theme. I mean, it was updated and enhanced, but man, just whew. Mom, Pa Kent, they cast them as genuine rural Kansas older parents who gave their child the background that he had, the fact that he believed in doing good because he didn't have all the information that his parents had sent. Lex Luthor, whoo, that guy knocked it out of the park. Very heavy lean into I hate Superman because of what he represents. And his organization, wow, I mean, just slick, and they provided an adequate challenge. I love that they introduced other characters into the milieu, right, setting up this new DC cinematic universe. Fillion is Guy Gardner. Chef's kiss. The girl playing Hawkgirl, a little blasé for my tastes, but then she wasn't, and that's cool. And certainly was a badass. And then Mr. Terrific. Oh, love the guy playing Mr. Terrific. Love the portrayal of everything about it. Mr. Terrific is well known amongst us comic book nerds. Not so well known in general, quarters, but man, this guy just owned it. It was awesome. Great Lois Lane. It was interesting to see Jimmy Olsen portrayed in the way he was. The ladies' man and all that. And the guy playing Perry White. Dead on. Again, chef's kiss. So this is now one of my all-time Supermans, and I cannot wait to see what else they do with him and what else they do with this universe. I'm in. I'm on board for the ride. If you haven't seen it yet, and you decided to stay for the spoilers anyway, then I will tell you there is a mid-credits and an end-credits scene, and both are beautiful and fun and worth seeing. What else can I say? The fact that they didn't have to retell the origin, that they just jumped right in, and Superman's already actually done something that's on the wide world stage, and all this other stuff's happening. and they start in the middle of, this ongoing situation. Yeah. Very cool. Thank you, James Gunn, for not giving us yet another run at his origin. And there's, bits and pieces. Oh, and Alan Tudyk as one of the Superbots, claiming have no emotions whatsoever, and you can totally tell he does. We want to be called Gary. His name appears as Gary in the credits. Great. But a lot of little bits and pieces that are just lovely. And this Superman does everything you expect Superman to do, speaks out for everything you expect Superman to speak out for. He doesn't always get his way either. He has to deal with the other metahumans. He's like, hey, come on, we could have, not killed that giant monster. We could have tried to save it. And they're like, are you kidding me? And so, yeah. Yeah, I'm almost certainly going to see it again in the theaters. It was just that good to me. Now, how does this fit into recovery? Well, a couple of key ways. One, when he was devastated to discover what he thought was the lie of his life, good old Pa Kent reminded him that he was raised by them to reinforce the idea that he was to be good, to be a good person, and that he made choices to do good and represent good. And finding out the latter part of that message that totally changed his perspective on why he was there, Pa Kent just don't matter. This is who you are, your choices, not what they wanted for you. So, brilliant. And that's kind of a recovery kind of thing. It is our choices. Do we choose to be alcoholics? No. No, we don't. Do we choose to be addicts? No. No, we don't. What we do choose is how we're going to fight. First, if we want to fight, and then how are we going to fight? And what weapons, what tools, what abilities are we going to bring to bear? And that's one of the things I'm working on right now. Yes, I know, puppy. Anyway, the other thing is right near the end, Supergirl comes staggering in, complete hot mess, drunk, and she goes to Red Sun Planet so that she has the ability to get drunk. So she comes staggering in. He's completely disappointed. And I'm like, well, that is not the Supergirl I've ever known in any medium. And I was kind of upset about that. And then I thought, how awesome is it to have this upbeat, beautiful, heart-lifting, soul-reaching and joy-bringing story. But we have a future encounter with possibly a girl gone wrong who has superpowers equal to Superman's, or damn near. What her journey is going to be like. And I do not doubt for a second that if James Gunn gets another hit at bat, and he will, because this thing's huge, that's going to get dealt with in some way. And I think that could be very powerful depending on how they treat it. I have some confidence that James understands something about the journey. Possibly self-lived, I don't know. Possibly family or something. But yeah, if she turns out to be having a consistent problem, the intervention or the attempt to, get her to understand that she's got to accept responsibility and try to find a way forward without getting herself drunk, that could be amazing. So, this is the Big Irish Recovery and Other Stuff vidblog. This is episode 2. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and I will continue to look for fun ways to present important information. Love. Peace. Out.